The X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My producer tonight at Master Control in White Springs, Florida is Batman. And my guest this hour is Amirah. She is a soul mystic. She's a master clairvoyant healer and spiritual teacher. Amirah is an internationally acclaimed life intuitive life coach, master energy healer, and spiritual teacher with a client base that is truly worldwide. She has guided thousands of people worldwide open, heal, and move forward in their life path. Amirah is clairvoyant and sees energy and works long distance like a psychic spam guard. Using her clairvoyant ability, she releases energetic contamination from the aura, the body, and other spaces, allowing for optimal life experience. She is also the young lady who is going to be taking a group of people on a sacred travel journey to Egypt in November. And Amirah, welcome back to the X Zone.
Oh, thank you, Rob. It's so great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, love having you here. You're one of the most uplifting people I know. And you know what? In today's society, and this is what I sent you in an email, everything seems to be negative. People are forgetting what it is to be positive and how when you think positive, you actually start things moving in a positive motion.
You know, you're absolutely right about that. And, you know, there's certainly an awful lot of pressures, the realities of the gas prices and the housing crisis and the stock market and working harder and longer and family pressures. And, you know, it starts to boil up within us. And I honestly think, you know, thinking positive is the first part of all of that. But I also think we need a release valve or some sort of mechanism, a tool, to help us release it. Because it's real. Now, it may be a perception of our reality, but that's part of what I do is I teach people how to release it so that they can feel good from the inside out and not just thinking, oh, yes, I'm on the happy path. Because sometimes you don't feel that way, you know. But I think thinking is a big step, reminding ourselves that we do have so much that we need to be thankful for and grateful for. I think that's a huge step. And then also taking proactive physical tools, or I call them physical, but they're really visual tools that we can use to help relax and release energies that are impacting us in the negative way. And you know what? Having said negative or positive, I think the more work I do, the longer I'm in this work, and the more I see clairvoyantly, I realize, you know, there really isn't a positive and negative. That's been a human slant that we've had to attach to something.
What is there then? What is there?
It's just stuff.
Stuff!
It's just energy. And we have a perception based on our reality that it's positive or negative, based on, oh, it's good or bad. But what if there was no good or bad? What if it was just all an experience? And what is it and how is it that we're going to learn from it?
I'm going to have to ponder these three questions over this 2-minute commercial break. My name's Rob McConnell. Amirah SoulMystic is our special guest tonight. Her toll-free number is 1-800-659-6796. That's 1-800-659-6796. Her website, www.soulmystic.com. Amirah and I will be back after this 2-minute commercial break as the X Zone continues right here on the Talkstar Radio Network.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine like hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining room can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you're visiting, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, Old Florida cuisine at its best. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Are you interested in the paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, or psychic phenomenon? Join me, Tim Bartley, co-host of Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina, coming mid-January 2017 to the XZBN. We will channel spirits live and talk to them, revealing all kinds of amazing information. Spiritual attachments will be found and removed on the show, and so much more. To find out when you can listen to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina, visit www.xzbn.net for listeners on both sides of the veil.
Amirah is our special guest. Her website is www.soulmystic.com. Let's go to our phones. We have, George in Ottawa joining us now. Hi, George.
Hello, I have a good question for Amirah.
Sure, go right ahead, sir.
SETI was just on. What's her advice for SETI how to contact the aliens? She deals in other energies that the SETI may not be dealing in?
I'm sorry, but I'm having a real hard time hearing you.
George, can you speak louder, please?
How would she advise SETI to contact the aliens, since she deals in other energies that SETI might not deal in?
Wait, you're asking SETI? Oh, the.
Okay, I think I understand his question. Seth Shostak from SETI was on just before you, and as you know, SETI listens to the galaxy, trying to listen to signals that would prove extraterrestrial life. Okay. So George is asking, since you deal in alternative energies, what would you suggest, SETI, that they look for?
Are we talking to the actual device? Or are
no,
we actually talking?
I think that George's question is basically, if SETI can't find ETs with their equipment listening to frequencies that they're listening to, is there a way that you, as an alternative, as a person who uses alternative energies, would be able to help SETI find ETs?
Well, this is really interesting because it sounds overly simplistic, but the very first thing I do if I lose anything or want to find any information is I ground it. I create a visual cord, a grounding cord, let's say to the SETI device, and hook it to the center of the planet so that it could be seen, or that the alien life forms would connect with SETI. And then I would send a signal out energetically from the SETI device to the ET.
Did that answer your question, George?
Well, no, not really, but I just thought I wondered what her answer would be, because a lot of these mystics and stuff deal with different forms of crystals, and these crystals have all kinds of different energy reception possibilities.
Right, but what I'm dealing with is the non-physical energy that they're possibly dealing with, that they possibly are. I mean, maybe these ETs can't even be seen in a visual form.
So do you mean you've never contacted an ET? I thought every soul psychic.
Oh yeah, I have, and there's a lot of differences. There's beings that have never had bodies.
You mean the light beings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what beings they're trying to communicate with, or if there's a parameter or a defined expectation. And sometimes expectations get us all in a jam, don't they?
Yeah, and the beings that live in solid matter themselves, those energy beings that live in just matter itself.
Right. So, there's a lot of different possibilities, but I would definitely, what I do for my clients, if you were asking me to connect yourself or have the device that you're working with work, or maybe it was dysfunctional, we can actually release the energies to create function, or for you to get the solution to creating or solving the problem.
Well, thanks for your help. It should take SETI 3 weeks now to do it. Have a good day.
Thanks, George. He said, thanks for your help. Now it should take SETI 3 weeks to find the aliens.
Well, I sure hope so. That's really exciting.
Thanks, George. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. Tell me more about the aliens that you have been in contact with.
Well, I've been having a regular visitor, actually, and I don't know that I want to call it, or the essence, an alien. I would call it an extraterrestrial, and more than that, I call it a star being.
A star being? Okay.
Yeah. The star being actually came to me while I was in Egypt the last time, in April of this year, and I was just quietly meditating, and all of a sudden I felt a presence that was a large egg-shaped light standing behind me. It was very large, probably 12 to 14 feet tall. It seemed like it didn't quite fit in the room, but somehow it did. And have you ever felt somebody walk up behind you, and you don't know who it is, but you sense someone standing there?
Yes.
And it's very real, and you could turn around and see. Well, this is exactly how that felt for me, only very strong. And the being started to communicate to me and give me information about my transformation, personal transformation, and expectations of what's going to be happening on the planet, some great shifts, some large openings, the light or the energy on the planet expanding, and it being like for people or individuals changing from like a caterpillar to like a butterfly overnight. And it was difficult for this being to describe to me what this shift was going to be, except to imagine the analogy or the metaphor using caterpillar to a butterfly. So I don't know if a caterpillar feels pain or what that whole shift is like, but it explained to me that's what's occurring on the planet.
I would put that to a child going through puberty, except a lot more confusing and a lot more unknowing.
Yeah. That's, at least you have parents telling you what's happening. I mean, there's a lot of leaders or light workers that are aware of this shift and are talking about it, and a lot of people have guidance for it, but there's a lot of people that don't know how to access that information. And so I actually have a project that I'm going to be working on where I'm calling light workers and energy workers, visionaries, people that have the information to create a documentary on this. So
isn't it possible that everyone here on this planet has the knowing in our DNA, and that at a certain time this DNA is just going to click on and we'll know what to do instinctively?
I'm really excited that you identified that. I do believe that. However, there's a lot of people that aren't listening or might just have a little bit of need validation or certainty to verify that they're not cracking.
Well, all they have to do is look around.
Well, that's possible. I really feel that, just like when you're going through puberty, you know what's going on, but you still don't. Does that make any sense?
Sure it does, but the expectations were great. Right? You had something to look forward to.
For some of us. That's a whole nother conference, isn't it, Rob?
I had a good time. I looked forward to it. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I'll be able to hang with the guys, get a couple of dates, and I finally leave home, and all right, I'm growing up.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. And then yeah, you got me there, boy. I don't know where to go with that one. I was all on this light and transformation, and I was just going to plug into the DNA aspect of being ignited.
It's all part of it. It is all part of it because puberty is part of our DNA. This is something that we go through.
And it's all about creation.
Exactly.
And the big old spark that we experience during orgasm is our actual divine connection.
Now look who's taking this conversation in a strange way.
Yeah, well, I believe it and see it, and I have seen it clairvoyantly, and I really get excited. I mean, this is totally orgasmic, isn't it? I really, and that's why I get so passionate and excited about this sacred journey to Egypt, because literally it's like plugging in and activating at the sacred temples, sites where there's a part of you that is activated and remembers who you are, the energetics from the stars that I believe, and that is exponentially ignited and influenced by going to Egypt.
Now, have you had these feelings any other place on Earth or just in Egypt?
I've traveled a lot of places. Peru was pretty magical and intense. I don't know that I had that incredible experience. I found the veils in Egypt and Ireland, especially, very thin,
right,
where you can connect with beings or parts of yourself, maybe from other lifetimes. In all of those places, I think really what happens is, how sensitive are you to it? How much are you allowing yourself to be open to the magic and the mystery? But I found, I personally have a special affinity with Egypt. And honestly, I thought I was done with Egypt 3 years ago. But something keeps pulling me back, and I would always just invite people to think about if you're being drawn or if you're being curious or there's something part of you deep within your heart saying Egypt, and it's a faint call, or maybe you've always had a dream to go but never went. Well, now is the time. Now is the time to do it. Jump and take action, because it's incredibly intense and powerful. So many groups in North America, for a lot of years, a lot of people here have been afraid to go over to that area of the world. But it seems as though this year there's a whole, pilgrimage in mass amounts of people going from the U.S. and Canada. It's very exciting, very exciting.
You sound very passionate about it.
I don't even know why. I can't even oftentimes find words to describe the experience of going to Egypt. But for me, when you see statues smile at you, I mean, we're talking giant granite statues.
Yeah.
Or when you hear echoes of sounds that sound like angelic or priests chanting, or when you feel yourself being suspended inside the Great Pyramid, with dazzling lights, spiraling around you that reflect colors that cannot be described in earthly terms, like the DNA strand. When you have these types of experiences, your life, it isn't the same. That's what happened to me.
All right, dear, stand by. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Amirah is our special guest. Her website is www.soulmystic.com. And you can contact Amirah for a one-on-one consultation at 1-800-659-6796. When we come back, more with Amirah here on the X Zone, live and around the world from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Talkstar Radio Network.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and this portion of the X Zone is being brought to you by Amirah, SoulMystic, master clairvoyant healer and spiritual teacher, creating life-changing results. Also, she has a sacred travel to Egypt planned for November. If you'd like more information or a one-on-one consultation with Amirah, her toll-free number is 1-800-659-6796. That's 1-800-659-6796. Or you can visit Amirah online at www.soulmystic.com. And by Discovering the Interlife, new from the author of Return, Dr. Georgina Cannon. It's a powerful book about your life between lives. And if you'd like to order a copy of Discovering the Interlife, or if you'd like to contact Dr. Georgina Cannon, the website is www.lifebetweenlivescanada.com, or you can call toll-free to the Ontario Hypnosis Centre in Toronto, 1-866-497-7469. And my guest this hour is Amirah. And Amirah, welcome back to the X Zone. Always great having you with us.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
Joy to be here.
Let's go to our caller. We have Kathy in Ottawa. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm just doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
Excellent. And what is
Did
your
you
question?
get my message, by the way?
No, I didn't, dear.
Our book is out.
It is. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm proud.
You should be.
I have one copy here at home. It's on the internet as well. You can get it on the internet. I'm going to check.
Kathy, you're going to have to speak up, dear. You're going to have to speak up.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get it. It's on the internet.
Right.
It's V as in victory.
Yes.
Okay. V as in victory. B as in Bob. W. And that's the publisher. That's the short form.
And what's the name of your book, Kathy?
It's called Coffee on Sundays. Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee on Sundays.
Well,
And it's
congratulations.
by Barbara Lawson-Reeser.
Well, congratulations to you, Kathy.
Her name is Barbara Lawson-Reeser. She was my therapist here, my occupational therapist. And it's about a number of different people in the institution, and I'm the main person of the book.
Well, good for you. We're proud of you.
So if you could get a copy, I would love you to look at it.
I certainly will.
I'm just shaking, telling you.
Well, don't shake too hard. I don't want you to fall down.
But I'd like to say something to Mara here.
She's right here. Go right
Mara?
ahead, dear.
Hello.
Yes, I can barely hear you. Could you please speak up?
Pardon?
I can barely hear you. Can you speak up for me, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
What you were saying about people being able to sense that if people were around them.
Uh-huh.
I'm visually impaired.
Okay.
Plus, I'm in a wheelchair. Now, I can sense what they're saying because when somebody walks into my room, I can tell by footsteps who they are.
Uh-huh. Great. Well,
And I can
really,
also give you one
your
example.
senses are highly developed.
If I may
compared
use
to
you,
a lot
Rob,
of
as
people.
an example. May I?
Yeah.
Well, one time Rob and I met here in Ottawa, and when I was in the restaurant, this lady opened the door and said to me, "Would you like to see Rob?" He came over, didn't say a thing, leaned down on the floor and said, "Hi, Kathy." I remember that right to this day.
That's fabulous.
Well, Kathy, congratulations on your book, and I certainly will get a copy. And the next time I see you, you'll have to autograph it for me.
Well, I'm hoping I could do the next best thing. Is tell the explanation my story.
Kathy, you take care of yourself, sweetie.
Thank you.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
What a story. Amirah, you were talking earlier about grounding when George was on the phone, and you said if visually imagine the satellite dish being grounded to the center of the earth. Now, what is the significance of that?
Well, science has shown us that all electrical devices have a grounding cord, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the 3 prongs on.
Yep.
Okay, so the grounding provides a way for excessive energy passing through a device so it won't blow up. Okay, it goes into the earth. Well, we don't have a grounding cord as individuals. So what I do in the work I do, part of my class, the very first tool I teach people is how to ground themselves. And when we can do that, when the body can feel safe,
mm-hmm.
we literally open up our other abilities. Like Kathy was talking about, her senses, our clairvoyance, our ability to feel clearly, or hear our guides and teachers, or hear deceased loved ones on the other side, or be able to connect with an ET. What I do is I teach people how to ground so that they can allow those other parts of themselves to open up. So it provides a lot of things. It provides a way for us to release tension because all that excessive energy has a place to go. When we give it a way to direct, it just literally can fall away from us. So it can be a healing tool because when the body's got too much excessive energy, guess what happens? It breaks down. It has dis-ease, and then there's an accumulated effect that just literally puts us in the ground. But it doesn't have to be like that.
That gives a whole new meaning to the word of grounded, doesn't it?
Yeah, you mean when kids are grounded?
Something like that,
yeah. That's another one, yeah.
That's a whole new show.
Okay, yeah, but I'm telling you what, it is so powerful what we can do. When I lose something and I can't find it, I'm in the middle of a move, so
mm-hmm.
I'm packing and rearranging and moving things from room to room. If I can't find something that I've laid down, I ground it. And before you know it, it pops up, or I'm directed to where it is. If I can't get a hold of somebody, if the phone is busy, and nowadays everybody has call waiting and caller ID
display, yeah.
and voicemail, etc. But if I can't get through to somebody, or if there's a communication breakdown, I'll ground the other person. I'll give them a visual. Just in my mind's eye, imagine from the base of their spine to the center of the planet. I create a grounding cord for them. So it can happen like if you're working on the phone with somebody and the other person on the other end isn't having a great day, they're a little edgy or maybe a little irritated, I'll give them a grounding cord, and that can shift the whole vibration, the whole communication. So we can use that in every aspect of our life, day to day. So I try and teach practical tools to help us, one, live as a spirit in a human body,
mm-hmm.
deal with this physical pain in the butt experience that we have sometimes. It's really hard, especially when you're so enlightened and you don't want to be here, or you're ready to take off. So many people aren't even experiencing their body, Rob. They're so caught up into the future or in maybe some technical device, or maybe they're even into their computer, and God knows they're not in their body.
No, that's true. Gosh, I was just going to say something, and it fluttered away.
Somebody jumped in your head is what happened.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Or you jumped in somebody else's.
That wouldn't be the first time either. Oh.
Yeah, our spirits are so powerful. You know,
well, that's what I was going to ask
meaning
you.
A spirit. What's that?
I know what I was going to ask you. Well, if this is a spiritual experience that we have on this planet, and we have the choice of coming here, we have the choice of who we are born to, we have the choice of which body we come in, why in the name of heaven do some people pick the worst bodies and the worst situations and others pick the best of both worlds?
Well, gee, how much time do we have for that one? In a simple Reader's Digest version explanation, I'll say this, is that in between lives, there's a place that I call the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
We decide, maybe there's a conference, maybe we decide with God or our supreme creator, or maybe it's purely a soul choice of all kinds of lessons. Let's say we have a catalog. We go, okay, on my journey, I want to learn these lessons. So we say, okay, well, I'm going to choose this kind of a body so that I can experience this kind of lesson. I need to have a husband or a man leave me in this lifetime because maybe I've done that, the reverse in another lifetime, but I need to have an experience of the flip side of what that feels like. Okay? I don't believe that anything's by chance. It's all by choice. And all of what we're experiencing is purely that, an experience for the soul. So back to that positive and negative that we were talking about early in our conversation, it's like it's not positive or negative. It's just an experience. And if we can release the judgment on all of those experiences, then we move into a much higher, let's just call it a category or experience of being a spirit and having a human experience.
Speaking about experiences, do you have any place left for your sacred travel to Egypt?
Oh, we do. There's a small number of seats still available, and so I would highly encourage anybody that's just feeling so inclined to give me a call or email me, and that would be great because we're leaving October 31st, and we return on November 13th. So we don't have much time to finalize everything, but it is something not to be missed. I can guarantee that. It is truly, truly life-changing. This will be my 7th trip, Rob.
Good for you.
Yeah. And every time it's different. Every time if it can get even better, it does. And my colleague that I'm working with, and Vonda Osmond of Joy Travel, she's been to Egypt 26 times, leading groups. To me, she is just an amazing woman full of wisdom and guidance expertise that makes the journey just so much better because she goes out of her way to make sure everybody has everything that they need. So that doesn't happen all the time when you're on a trip.
Boy, don't I know that.
Yeah, that's valuable.
I have to ask you, what was it like the first time you were in Egypt and you stood at the base of the Great Pyramid and looked up?
I was really without words. It's just, I think I had my mouth open wide. There's a lot of flies around that area, too, so that could have been, I really just stood there in complete awe. I felt so, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I felt unhuman. And maybe that, as I'm talking out loud, I'm even feeling this as like, well, my first experience was not as a human as I came to the planet, as pure spirit.
Yes.
So it's words that I choose are magical or powerful or they really don't do it justice because when you open your window and you're at the Mina House right overlooking the Giza Plateau, it is surrealistic. It's hard to fathom that you're really there. And the power, the vibrations of that place are still totally undefinable to people, and everybody will have their own experience, of course, but, scientists have all tried to describe it. They do a great job in different ways. I don't know that anybody can completely, definitively say, this is what it's all about. When I was there, my own personal intuitive information was the Great Pyramid is like a transformer. It steps down energy or steps up energy. I believe it's a stargate. I believe it's an opening or a portal or a vehicle, maybe even a machine, that helps propel us into a transformation. And so that's my own personal experience. I'm not the scientist. I don't have that type of acumen.
But you are Amirah, the soul mystic. Stand by, Amirah. You and I have to take a commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. When we come back, I'll tell you who's going to be on tomorrow night as well. Amirah's website is www.soulmystic.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone on Talkstar.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
18 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant, check. Officers on the scene.
Hi, I'm Larry Lawson, host of Paranormal Stakeout. With over 36 years in law enforcement, I have learned a few things. The most important is the proper gathering and preservation of evidence is vital to putting the bad guy behind bars. It's no different in the world of paranormal investigation. Whether it's the search for the afterlife, cryptozoology, UFOs, and extraterrestrials, how we gather the evidence, preserve that evidence, and present it to a jury of our peers will make the ultimate difference in proving the existence of worlds and entities that are beyond our imagination. Join me, Larry Lawson, every week on Paranormal Stakeout when, along with my guests, we'll take a journey to prove with indisputable evidence what man has struggled to believe for centuries. Go to xzbn.net for the broadcast schedule and check me out at paranormalstakeout.com.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today. www.soulbalancing.world.
Welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity of thanking all our guests tonight. Let me see. We started off the night with Dr. Michael Castle talking about chemtrails. Stephen Lachance joined us. He is a paranormal investigator and the author of The Uninvited, The True Story of the Union Screaming House. Dr. Seth Shostak from SETI, and, of course, Amirah, our favorite soul mystic. On tomorrow night's show, we have Miriam Delicato. She has been in contact with tall blonde aliens since 1988. We're going to hear her story. Paul Davis is going to join us, and he's going to ask the question, what is the State of the Union concerning America and its place in the world? Douglas James Cottrell joins us. He is a healer. He is also considered as the modern-day Edgar Cayce, and George Green talks to us about UFOs and aliens, and he claims they're real. That's tomorrow night here on the X Zone. Once again, if you'd like information about Amirah, Soul Mystic, she is a master clairvoyant healer and a spiritual teacher. Here's the number to call for a one-on-one consultation or to get more information about the sacred travel Egypt trip that is planned, that we'll be leaving on October 31st. All right, you've got your pens and pencils ready? Okay, here we are. 1-800-659-6796. That's 1-800-659-6796. Or you can visit Amirah's website at www.soulmystic.com. Once again, the toll-free number is 1-800-659-6796, or her website, www.soulmystic.com. First of all, Amirah, thanks very much for joining us tonight. It's always great talking to you. And what changes are you seeing in people that are coming to see you and that are asking you for your advice? Are the questions changing? Are you seeing a change in the paradigm?
Honestly, it seems to always be about me, not me personally, but the individual calling, it's all about them. I still see patterns of relationship questions or career. There seems to be more tension regarding career and making things happen. And so what happens is by doing the energy work and by me assisting people in getting their spirit in alignment with their body, they can get back on track and start being and doing what they're here to do. And so that's the goal, is to follow our life purpose, our spiritual life purpose.
I would imagine one of the greatest challenges for anyone is actually learning why they're here.
It seems to be the core question for all of us, and or how can I be loved? Mm-hmm. And I think we're all here for the basic common thread is to be loved. How do we access that? How do we get to that point? Because that's all there is love.
All you need is love. That's what John Lennon said.
I agree. How about you?
I agree, too. Amirah, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Always a delight, and we certainly will be speaking to you in the near future.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Take care, dear lady. Amirah, Soul Mystic. Once again, 1-800-659-6796. That's 1-800-659-6796. Or her website, www.soulmystic.com. Well, that's it for tonight, everyone. To my producer at Master Control, the one and only Batman. Hey, Batman, thanks very much for keeping us up on those 1, 2, 3, 4 big birds in the sky, Galaxy 4R, Telstar 7, Aglia 2, and on G3. And, of course, around the world on TalkStarRadio.com streaming audio. To my wife, Laura Rogers, the senior producer of the show, thank you, sweetheart. Keith Friedman, Consolidated Streaming, thank you, Keith. And, of course, to Bob Gatlin over at the X-Zone TV chat room. Thanks, Bob, for keeping everybody up and at it. And X-Zone Nation, you are the best radio audience in the world, and you are growing. You are truly growing. Visit our new website at www.xzoneradiotv.com. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting on the 8-gigabyte iPods, the X-Zone iPods, for $275 instead of the $299. So until tomorrow night, always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart